awesome afternoon,
Awesome. Yeah.
magnificent evening, and wonderful morning wherever you are in the world, either watching this on replay or watching it live. I wish you the best of the time of day that you're in. This is Carla Richmond from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections. And today I am talking to Muhammad Waqar Akram. And hopefully he will tell me if he wants to go by Muhammad or Waqar when we come to his point of speaking. I am very anxious to meet him and speak with him. And just a reminder that this show is sponsored by Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections, Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. Muhammad Waqar Akram, please introduce yourself and tell me what you want me to call you.
Hi. Good morning, everybody in USA, and probably good night in Pakistan. It's such your question, Carla. I think the simple answer to that is you can call me Mohammed, because a lot of people from USA call people like from first name. So, but in Pakistan, I'm called Waqar. So it's all up to you. If you want to call Waqar, I'm okay with that. If you want to call with me Mohammed, I'm fine with that.
What is the appropriate name that you go by that who your friends call you?
That will be Waqar. Yes.
Okay, then that's what we're going to make it. Rehan told me about this, and I said, "How do I know?" And he said, "Just ask." So I did. Now,
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Waqar. I'm from Pakistan, and a region in Pakistan called Bahawalpur. It's a very small city, and I like lived in a village for 15 years. Then I moved to a city. Then I got like admission in a medical school, which is like a really good school in Pakistan. And I moved to another city, which was like capital of our state. And But then I had like 5-6 years of my education as a medical student. I graduated, and I went to USA during that time, uh, and did some like rotations in some hospitals and came back. But during my education in med school, I started like working part-time as a freelancer, which was quite unique in the sense that a lot of people in med school don't do that. But I was happy doing that, and I really enjoyed it, and it really helped me with my finances as well. So it was a really good adventure, and the one thing that I loved about it was like talking to people, in different areas of the world, and knowing them, and just have a conversation with them. That was really nice, and this really made me learn a lot of things. Even before I traveled in any country, I knew a lot of cultures and how people behave in different countries. And it was a really good experience, I think. So I like established myself a little bit. Then I worked with a Canadian company as well, kind of a part-time or full-time opportunity. Then I like focused on my medical career for a little bit, for just to get my graduation, and explore a little if medicine is good for me. I was At one point I was very interested in neurology, but when I came back to Pakistan, things really like changed here in Pakistan. So I had to start working again on freelancing for some reasons. And I think it's like a blessing from God that I was able to get a very good job at a very good company, and that company, you know, like gave me, you know, what you can say, financial stability. They gave me work, a purpose to, you know, wake up and you know, just to show up and do something positive. And I think that was, and I have been like with that company for more than 3 years now, and I really love working with guys. And like my manager and our CEO is like really nice. He's really good, and I think I contribute, and I do my best. You know, I contribute from my side to my company as well. So it's like both ways. They help me, and I try my best to help them. So that's me in a nutshell.
You're working for, now, let me go back a little.
Okay.
When you graduated med school, did you ever practice as a doctor, or did you go towards the freelancing?
Well, in Pakistan, when you graduate from med school, you have to like get training from a hospital for a year. So I worked in a hospital for over a year. You know, got some what you can say, an internship, and I rotated in different parts of the like different departments, surgery, medicine, you know, ophthalmology, eye, and peds, right? And then like after that, I got my license as a permanent general practitioner. So it's like a simple general practitioner license from the from Pakistan authorities. And that was, I think, in 2000. That was, that, no, I think that was like in maybe just a little over a year. So it was in 2021 that I completed it, and after that, like I'm working full time. And during all that time, I was working as a freelancer as well. So I was doing both two jobs at one time.
So my question is, how did you, I know you liked freelancing, but what was it that took you from being a doctor to free? What was that major step? Does that question make sense to you?
Yes, that question does make sense. I think as like working as a doctor is a very tough job. And what I, you know, and I cannot I think I was not able to handle stress of that very well. It really affects me when, you know, people are sick, when like in seeing them, and when people, you know, it's very unfortunate, but people die in hospitals. And it really affected my, what you can say, my mental health, and it really affected me not in a positive way. It affected me in a negative way. And I saw myself, and I thought that maybe this is not good for me. Years that I had to spend in hospitals. So I thought maybe I should continue something that I have been doing for over 7 years during my med school. Maybe I should continue that, and I'm good at it, and I enjoy it, and I can do it like in my free time from home without, you know, you don't have to go to an office. It's less stress. I mean, it still has stress, but it's much lesser as compared to a doctor's job. And I commend all my friends and colleagues that work as doctors. By the way, my camera just give me 1 second. It will be back.
Okay, you're back again.
Sorry about that. It takes like only 30 minutes of a session, you know. That's okay. I hope that's okay.
We have no choice. Can't can't do that. You know, I need to talk to you before we go live. It's not a big deal.
Thank you.
So when you started as a freelancer, there's all different things you could be doing. You could do copyright, you could do graphic arts, web building, which we'll talk about at some point. What did you start doing as a freelancer?
Well, when I started freelancing, I thought to my, kind of like the first thing that came to my mind, I need to share what I know. And at that time, I did my MCAT. So I thought with a friend, like maybe we can share that knowledge with other students, and then probably, make a website and earn some money with it. So while making that website, we were rejected by Google AdSense, which is very, it's a very interesting story. So our website was rejected by Google AdSense, and we were not able to monetize it. So the project didn't go like as successful as we expected. So there was no money. So we thought, so like me and my friend, separated from that business, and we didn't go along. But then I became active in learning Google AdSense in forums, on different platforms, and I did it for like 4, 5, or 7 months. And then with my experience of building a website and then Google AdSense, I started providing that services on freelancing platform. At that time, it was called Elanes. And from that, it gradually started getting traction. It was a very new and unique field, and there were not many people doing it. So there were like very few people doing it. At one point, I was like, on the cover page of Elance for that skill. So it was really good time to be joining that, skill for freelancing. And then it got like mainstream, and Google started talking about the same profession, and other companies showed up, and now it's like an industry, and there are like a lot of companies doing it. So it's really good that I have that skills, with me, and it helped me score a very nice job. So that's my story. And I think that with website knowledge in the background, now my currently, like, I work as like a more of a website management perspective. So I understand different aspects of a website, and then I understand how to like best generate revenue from a website. So that's kind of my expertise these days.
Now, when you say generate revenue, is this for any type of business, or are you specific to like cryptocurrency or whatever?
No, it's very specific. I think the most of my work is related to websites that don't offer like a product, that only provide information. But I do have worked with some websites that offer products. So I have worked like on marketing of those products, and generating some revenue and profits from that marketing. So it's like it's really good to have a range of skill set that is all linked to each other. And I think that's how the younger generation should build their skill. Find one skill, be good at it, and do it for like 4 or 5 years. Then think about something that is related to it, and then start doing it, and learning it. So that way you can expand on, and you can learn, get more clients, and you can learn from what you can say experts in those fields.
Now, is your interest mainly in service websites, or is it in very direct selling?
Oh, my main interest is like in websites, not in selling. Not, I think websites and a little bit of marketing. That's what we do.
But I'm saying, what kind of websites? There are
Uh,
websites that sell products, there are websites that sell servicing.
no,
Service.
my expertise are like in websites that provide information, like news websites, like magazines, like blogs, like tech blogs, these kind of websites.
They could also be websites that would be considered service oriented. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Because all the websites have like a same structure behind the scenes. So if I can work on one website, I can like work on websites that are like about another topic or of another kind. Because behind the scenes, it's usually the WordPress that is running those websites.
And how long have you been doing this?
Well, it has been a long time. It has been 10 years now.
Did I hear you say, how many years did you say? Say it again.
Yeah, I said it has been 10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
And
I started out when I was 17.
so you're 27 now.
Yes.
So you started out when you were still in school.
No.
Go on.
No, I was like, I just graduated my high school when I started. Like, I think it was like 5th or 7th day after my MCAT when I started.
Wow.
Online. Yeah, not working online, but learning. Working, I started like maybe 6 months after that.
And you were also going to med school while you were, which also makes it very difficult.
Yes,
so
it was.
It's amazing. I don't think I could do that.
Well, thank you so much. But I think a lot of other people have done it, so it's like a good experience. That's what I would say.
Although it's a good experience, it's something that many couldn't do. I mean, you also learned, I don't know how you learned, how to build websites, how to monetize. Did you do any of these together, or did you just focus on one area, and then once you had that kind of organized, you went to the next area?
Yes, I think you're right, because my main work is like website monetization, but I do projects that are related to website building as well. So, and many of them are like personal projects or like projects for non-profits or something like that. That way, I keep that skill, polished, like website building skills. And my main like source of my income is like monetization of websites.
And you've been doing monetization of websites since when?
Well, that I started in like June 2012. So it is gonna be 10 years in a couple of months.
My gosh.
You're asking really good questions, by the way.
Thank you. Are you married and
Yeah.
still doing this?
Yes, I'm married. Yes. And I have a little daughter as well.
Only one child, but you're taking, this is a big risk for some.
Why?
Because you don't know if you're going to be able to sell it. It's a new idea. I'm actually very impressed that you went from being a doctor, which is a high paying position, to deciding to be a web designer. Now, do you like working alone, or are you working? Do you have other people working with you?
Well, I do have like a small team who are working with me. And about that question, I think it's a little bit unfortunate that doctors in Pakistan are not paid that well, as they should have been, like as compared to doctors in USA. But in reality, the profession I chose is like maybe paying a little bit more as compared to doctors of, of a similar age like mine. Maybe when they are like specialists, they will earn more. So that comes later. But as of right now, I think working online gives you a little bit edge on the financial side.
Now, knowing that, what is it that makes you go forward each day with this? Because it's not easy. I've been playing around with it for almost 5 years and I haven't really monetized yet.
Well, I think what keeps me going is, I have I'm going to be honest with you. I think I have a lot of responsibilities on me. And I have we are like two brothers. My other brother cannot walk, and I have my mom. So I feel kind of, I have a lot of responsibilities on me, and I have to fulfill those responsibilities like by working harder. Okay. So that's my reason that like keeps me going, and that's like the first level reason. And then on another level, when I'm like financially stable, when my needs are fulfilled, I want to contribute or like what you say, maybe start some other activities that will help people and me as well, right? So I want to start something. I want to have a career in something else as well. Like, I don't want to share details, but I think this is something, like personal that I want to do when I'm like 35 or 40. So it's very important for me to have a good financial stability. It's very important for me to have financial stability by then, so that I have some free time to do some other activities as well.
So, what do you mean by financial stability? You are in Pakistan. Do you
Yes.
plan to be traveling? What do you want to do in the next 5 years?
So my goal for next 5 years is not like traveling, but I do want to set up a business in Pakistan. So I want to set up some business in Pakistan that generates some income, and it helps me free up my time a little bit from freelancing. I will still work, but have maybe a little bit less, and then I will be able to do some other activities for people, right? For contribute in some other ways to the society. And that's what I think. That's my plan for next 5 years. And for next 5 years, I think that I'm going to be working the way I am working right now. Maybe in next 10 years, I will start to think of setting up my business.
Okay. Now you're going to take the profits that you have been making already and probably lowering your expectation financially if you're going by what's happening in Pakistan instead of what's happening in Washington, D.C. or anywhere in the US. How do you think that's going to work with your proposed plan?
I didn't understand your question really well.
I love that. Because you're not just talking, you're listening to the question.
Yes.
In Pakistan, we know that the state of finances is not as wealthy as it is in Washington, D.C. How
Yeah.
have you been able to continue working on painting donkeys without figuring out what's going on with it?
Well, for right now, I'm like paid in dollars, right? So like my finances are really good as compared to, other people in Pakistan that are paid in PKR, like Pakistan rupees. So and inflation doesn't affect me that much, which is very lucky for me, but very unfortunate for the rest of the country. And I hope that situation gets better for everyone. And but that's the reality, and that's why I think a lot of younger, a lot of people should consider doing freelancing and learning skills. When you have a good skill with you, that can go a long way, and you will not know when it will benefit you. Coming back to your question, so when I switch my business to be Pakistan only, I think that's a really good suggestion. Maybe I should consider doing both at some time, at the same time. So I'm gonna consider that.
You think it's necessary? I mean, you're already supporting your family with this. You
Yeah.
are living a good life. So why would you want to do that?
Well, I think setting up a business is not just about me. It's gonna be like that business is gonna help other people as well, right? So that's why I want to build it. It will generate some jobs, and it will help people like in other ways too. I don't want to go into details about it as of yet,
No, I understand.
but it will help like general public as well. I mean, you should understand by now,
I
even with
do.
me not telling you.
No, you don't need to tell me right now everything going on. There's enough. Do you real but would you be happy going back as a doctor and working as a doctor? And are you still certified to do it?
Yes, I'm still certified to do it. Well, when I think about it, I always think to keep my skills with me. And being a doctor is a skill. So I want to do, maybe 2-3 hours of study every week. And I want to do like maybe 2-3 hours of practice every week. So I'm working on getting that, in my schedule, and I'm working on getting that practice opportunity somewhere. So in that way, I'm thinking, about like keeping my skill with me. And in the long run, you never know when you need it, right? So just keep my skill with me, have it polished, but stay focused on what I love, what is working for me.
Do you love the thought of going back as a doctor?
That's a very difficult question. Maybe in a very good setting, maybe in a very good working environment. I will love that.
Hmm, very interesting. What is it about freelancing that keeps your interest?
I think a few the best things about freelancing are, number one thing is like you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to show up, at some point. And it's what I think one of the main differences is, you work under somebody who is in USA, who is like very well cultured, who knows how to treat people. Bec- I'm not saying like people in Pakistan are bad. No, a lot of people are really good, but sometimes the culture in Pakistan, the work culture, the office culture is not that pleasant for people, and that is one of the advantages that I think a freelancer gets, is to work for other people, from other countries. And number two, that when you interact with other people, it broadens your horizon, and you get to know other, you get like inspiration. You think that you can do other things, and that's what we are doing right now in this interview as well. Because I would never imagine, if I was working in Pakistan, I would have never imagined doing an interview with somebody from USA. So this is something that freelancing gives you. And number three, I think it's the money, the financial side of it. If you're being paid in dollars and you have a good salary as a freelancer, and if you have a good income source, it will always beat your income in Pakistan. It will always, anytime, it will beat how much you could earn in Pakistan. So in this modern era, I think freelancing is the new way to go abroad without traveling there. So you go virtually to another country to work, and you work there without a work visa, without paying any taxes, and then you bring money back to your home country, which is and your home country then doesn't charge you any tax as well, because you are bringing foreign reserve. So this is like a very good proposition, for in terms of money. So I think that is something that
Yeah.
young people should keep in mind.
And how can we help the young people to understand that and not think, oh, I need to be earning the 20,000 more because my best friend does that. Or I need to do this because my best friend does this and he thinks I should do it.
Well, it's a very tough question, and I think the one thing that other people are doing is what Rehan, Allahwala, or Azad Chaiwala, or other names in Pakistan. They're educating people about it. I may not agree with with the what they say all the time, but I do think that their intentions are really good. They want people to learn skills, and they want them to think out of the box, and they want them to think global. So in I and whenever I talk to other like young people, I always tell them, learn a skill first, because people want to jump in and start a job. That's not how it happens. You have to be good at something to be able to get a job. So you have to be, you get it, you can be good at something related to your studies. Maybe you study computer sciences in a university and then do like web development, or you can be good at something with doing courses from internet. Like maybe you have like just you have graduated from high school and you know web development from YouTube, LinkedIn Learning, or anywhere. So, but you need a skill. That's the bottom line. You need a skill, and then from that skill you can go up and you can generate what you can say a good income for yourself.
So, do you think that people in Pakistan could grow using freelances, freelancing as a way to move forward?
Yes, definitely. I really believe in that, and I think people in Pakistan should be able to do it. It's not that difficult. I had no education, and in that in like in computers, and I what you can say I started from scratch. Alhamdulillah, I'm like now doing really well for myself. So if I'm able to do it, I think anybody can do it, and I have like a very humble background. So so you should not like be disappointed if you have. So I think this is a really good way out from the problems in our country. So I think young generation should consider freelancing, but they have to be good at something before they jump in. So because this is impossible to to learn everything from somewhere without being applying yourself to it.
I agree. Are there any last words you'd like to leave our audience with?
For a long time I have like a signature in my email, so I just want to say that. So working hard is the only way forward. That's my message to everybody. So if you want to be successful, if you want to have something in your life, if you want to achieve a goal, or you want to be financially stable to contribute to your society, there is only one way to do it, and that is to work hard. And please do it, because Pakistan needs it. And by doing it, you will not only be helping yourself, but you will be helping people and companies that you work with as well. So it is helpful for everybody in the world.
So what is the best thing that we want to leave our audience with? With freelancing, I assume that when you became a doctor, you did it because mom and dad said be a doctor, and you were, okay, I'll do it, but I don't really want to do it. What is your feeling on that?
No, I've I think that decision has
You're
but
breaking up. Start again, please.
no, I was saying like that decision should be made like in a consultation, but we need improved system to coach people to how to choose a career. So how to find your passion, that is way down the road, because you cannot find your passion when you're like so early. But what you can do is to find a career for yourself at an early stage, to find something that that you are interested in. And then when you do it, maybe that will become your passion. And if that doesn't become your passion, that's okay. It's okay. You can start something new at any age, right? And that's like I think that's moral of my story. So
The reason
that's
I
what.
laughed was if you had told me even now 5 years ago that I would be doing what I'm doing now, I would have laughed my head off. In fact, I did when Rehan first suggested it. And then I thought, there's nothing to lose. And I did it. And my whole life became quite different from what it was before. So when you say at any age, I'm not saying I'm real old, but I spent time doing many different things before I came to this. You
that's
never
that's
know.
really that's really interesting. And probably, one of these days I will love to interview you as well. And
Well, Rehan
and
would
we
want you to do it. So if you want to do it, we could set up a time after this interview.
Sure, definitely. And I think, my audience will love it. They will love to learn what you have to say.
Let's consider it. And as for now, we are going to end this particular interview because we're over the time I thought we were going to be. We'll end it now. But yes, I would like to talk to you, and we'll talk offline. And I want to remind everyone that this program was sponsored by the Institute of Peace that Rehan Allahwala had instituted many years ago, or since I've known, before I knew him. And we promote peace one conversation at a time by getting to know different people. Can we wave goodbye?
Yes, of course. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.